Alright guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Plenty to discuss in today's video. We got a lot of crazy news. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, when I started this channel, everyone has just been dropping like flies. A lot of pro players deciding to quit the game. Some people even deciding to return back to the game, and it is pretty exciting to see. Nonetheless, it is a major L to always lose one of the bigger creators and the bigger pro players in the scene. But a lot to discuss today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as always, and want to stay up to date on all things ALGS. First thing I wanted to mention here, this was kind of a joke coming from G2's former player Chaotic Much. You guys know that G2 dropped their entire roster not long ago. However, Chaotic Much basically said, "I'm retiring from Apex, please read." And it was a big joke because he said, "I was the biggest Horizon crutch to ever exist. Sorry to fail you guys, but with Horizon getting nerfed, I need to retire." If you're wondering what he's talking about, take a look at this tweet right here. This was coming from his Watson saying Horizon is dead. Yesterday, they actually launched the new collection event for Apex Legends. And then when this Horizon tactical was looked at, you could tell the accuracy is no longer what it used to be. It's absolutely everywhere. It's not 100% accuracy whenever you're going up on the uplift, on the updraft. So a lot of players, obviously, I'm not saying they were crutching on this, but this was obviously one of her biggest, I guess, selling points as to why people wanted to play her. I mean, it was hard to hit up in the air, but sometimes, obviously, if you had the accuracy, if you had what it could take, then obviously you wanted to use her as well during this ability. ImperialHal made a response here saying, "One of the few legends with an insane skill gap, praised being nerfed since they couldn't utilize it properly. Truly embarrassing to see. Oh well." So I can kind of understand, obviously it's not the easiest thing in the world to hit all of these shots when you get on this, so maybe you want to keep it. But Stay Naughty responded, said they have zero clue how to balance with the amount of power Apex has to take over. At the end of the day, it's just more of a boots on the ground kind of game now. More game sense required, so we should go back to seeing the top teams dominate consistently. They began to go back and forth. Even TSM's coach Raven chiming in here saying, "What do you mean going back to seeing the top teams dominating? There's only 2 Horizon teams in all of the top 10 of NA." So something interesting definitely to take note of. I'm kind of surprised that this was released because I don't really know still if this was on purpose or if they accidentally released this too early or if it's just a bug that's showing up, what exactly is going on, because we know there was also some things that were in there about like the Sentinel charging was a little weird as well. They have not made any of this in the patch notes, so I'm kind of confused as to what's going on here. However, this is pretty a big deal because a lot of teams are running this composition, and with this being nerfed like last second right before the LAN event in London just a month away, this is probably going to change some of their compositions. They're going to have to switch it up. Everything that they've learned, everything that they've been practicing all of this time may have to change with this nerf coming in from Horizon. I actually said too that they've actually came out and acknowledged the fact they didn't want to make any big nerfs or buffs because of all of these teams practicing for ALGS, and they didn't want to throw them off or anything, which kind of makes me think this is either a bug or maybe just accidentally pushed a little too soon and it was meant for season 16. I'm not entirely sure, but nonetheless, it is worth mentioning. Big one that I wanted to discuss today. Thank you to Blitz for tagging me in this. If you guys did not see, and if you're not aware, Rocker has decided to step away not only from competitive, not only from ALGS, but unfortunately all of Apex Legends. This guy used to compete on NRG. He's definitely a very well-known pro, and we'll take a look at some of his responses here as well. But basically, he just said, "I'm done with Apex. I've been lying to myself for so long, saying that I want to grind and enjoy this game." Basically also saying that it's become just like a side job, not necessarily having fun going pro, not having fun, you know, streaming and all of that stuff. So he's just said that if I do come back to compete competitively, it will not be on a battle royale anymore, and just said he's sick of competitive battle royale. And I think this is kind of the inconsistencies that we've seen for quite some time when it comes to all of this, like, because it's just a lot of NRG that's in BR, and sometimes you can't really control it. And I think at the end of the day, there are a lot of fundamental issues with a battle royale going competitive. However, Apex definitely has a lot of potential to even things out, make things a little better. I do think that maybe the balancing can use a little work, and maybe we should have some more competitive environments kind of dominate that, and maybe make a little bit more executive decisions as to what needs to be nerfed, what needs to be changed, because I do think sometimes they kind of remove a lot of things that are skill gap based. But that's neither here nor there. A lot of the responses here, one from an NRG member, another NRG member, Sweetdreams, everybody was just kind of praising this guy, saying, you know, best of luck. And even Sweetdreams was saying Rocker was a #1 ALGS points in the beginning of the year, game across 30 plus tournaments with all tier 1 pros. You dominated Apex, and I'm excited for what you find in a new game and continue your career. So you love to see the support coming out from former teammates. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people really love to compare these guys, NRG over to TSM, and it was kind of like the 2 North American powerhouses, and it's kind of sucky to see that Rocker, obviously, I think after the ALGS year 2, they decided to part ways. He went with another team. They made that roster change, and in the end, I think it's probably more beneficial for them. It just sucks to obviously see one of them bite the dust and decide to move on from the game. Now, we also had a situation, I wanted to mention this, was coming from TSM ImperialHal. They are actually actually running international scrims right now at the time of recording. I decided to chime into some of this and to see how it was all going. Some of the matches obviously are pretty intense. It's crazy to see the different regions go against each other and how this is all going to correlate to land as well. One thing that I did want to mention though is we talked about the update that came out yesterday. It looks like it's kind of been crazy with how it's affected them on the other build. If you guys are not aware of this, Apex Pro players actually play their scrims on an entire different build of Apex. So it's literally a competitive game that has all the items unlocked, all the you know, skins and recolors unlocked. Everything is unlocked, and you can literally use every item that exists, all the heirlooms you have as well. It's really neat to see all of that stuff. And I think honestly they probably do it to kind of upsell. If you know, you see the pros competing, they all got the heirlooms, it may make you want to get the heirloom as well. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, these are two different builds of the game. This happened after the update release, and I wanted to show you coming from ImperialHal. Roll the clip.
Love playing a game where an Apex update fucks over even a build that's not even on the same patch. Like, how do you fuck up that hard to the point where a different build is buggy too? You just, it's like they broke the actual servers of the game. Just straight up.
Now, despite all of this complaining, obviously Respawn eventually did make their traditional statement, as they always do, just saying, you know, we're having some issues, you know, we understand, and we're trying to fix all of this stuff right now. We're working on a fix. Thanks for your patience. But regardless, I just still don't understand how you have an update on the main game and it affects the other game. I guess because of the servers are still the same at the end of the day. Regardless, it's a little weird. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel once again if you want to stay up to date with all things ALGS. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I'll see you later, Gators.